Hello, hello, my friends, and welcome to tonight's episode of the Astral Calling here on twitch.tv/tabletop-rolls. We hope you're doing fantabulously tonight. We have a lot of fun stuff going on here on the channel. Oh my god, the fucking cameras again.
Who am I today? Oh, concerned. I'm Darius.
I do not know what happens, but for some reason, when I am, doing the tweet, the cameras sometimes get messed up. And then I don't notice it until after. Anyway. Hello, welcome to tonight's episode of the Astral Calling here on twitch.tv/tabletop-rolls. It's our SpellJammer Spectacular. Our Astral Calling Space Adventure. Our generally good time. Tonight, that's what you're watching. Tomorrow, you can watch Salt and Strategy. Join myself. Join Matt. Join Chad. And join Calf as we continue to make our way through Solasta, Crown of the Magister. It's getting good. It's real exciting.
A lot of vampires.
A lot of vampires.
Fair bit of undead there.
I guess you could say that the undead have a bit of a stake in this adventure. But right as I make the pun, the resub. Thank you for the resub. 26 months, Squishy. Oh my god, that's 2 years and a bit.
Aww.
It's only 12 months in a year. It's not 24 months, right? Yeah. Whew. Then, of course, on Sunday, Stardew Sunday, but this Sunday, it is just me, as Sarah is at FanFest for Final Fantasy XIV, the award-winning MMO, now with free trial all the way up to Heaven's Ward. And Emily is at a Icon, that's the Winnipeg's local anime convention, rap party for all the staff. So they're doing that.
Ah.
Yeah. Then, on Monday, Strength of Thousands AP. Sarah's back for that one. Matt is there for that one, GMing that. How you doing for that, Matt? Are you excited?
I'm good. I'm also of the opinion that people should not wear sandals out in public.
Why?
Because you can't run in sandals and your feet flesh is exposed to the elements and other impediments.
I can run in sand.
Depends on the sandals.
Yeah, you get a nice ankle strap on there, you're gonna be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Then then the skin of your feet is still exposed.
You know, sometimes when your feet randomly become flat, sandals are your only option.
They get tough. You know, your feet will get tougher by being exposed to the elements.
Flatified.
Then, of course, on Wednesday, we have Wild Ambition, our PF2 Wild West game, with Matt, with McKenna, with Zoe, with Cooper, with Abby, with Chai. I was like, did I forget someone? No, we're good. Matt, McKenna, Cooper, Abby, Zoe, Chai. Yeah, that's everyone.
Okay.
We're good.
Okay.
And, of course, the Astral Calling. And now, not this week, but next week, a new Tuesday night stream. Because my family's forbidden me from streaming 7 days a week, but I can stream 6 days a week. So not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday on the 8th will be the first Baldur's Gate 3 stream.
Oh boy.
Come and join me for my playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3. Come and watch me play my favorite 5e, my very first, the build, my go-to build in 5e, a champion fighter.
Spider-Man.
I am. Listen, a noble champion fighter.
No, see, if they had elven accuracy as a feat, then what you do with the multi-classing is you do a rogue, elven of some sort, champion fighter with elven accuracy, so that you can aim, get advantage, roll 3 dice every turn to crit fish for your sneak attack.
Well, if they had, and this will mean nothing to our chat, but if they had the swashbuckler, I'd be building Naya.
Yeah, that's unfortunately not one of the ones that
Thanks for the
picked up.
resubs, chat. Yeah, also, chat, we have new emotes now. If folks who are subbed to the channel want to show those off, you're free to do so. And if folks who are followers, just regular followers now, you also get some free emotes. You get the last campaign's PCs as emotes now for a Wednesday night game. So put those Nimbuses in the chat. Or I think I kept Nimbus. I can't remember who I turned into free.
I think.
Corellia I turned to a free mode.
Yeah, Cass, Chip, and Ray.
Yeah, because we had people. Yeah. So put those emotes in the chat. Enjoy them. If you got the crit frogs, put them in. Enjoy those. Now let's talk about the people on this stream, because that's really why you're here. Is our fantastic cast. And I would be remiss to mention everyone's favorite Scorpio, Chad, playing Vim.
Setting fire to everything. Everything's on fire.
Someone who often has their head up in the stars, and who can blame them? It's so pretty up there. We have Rose playing Luna.
I was trying to figure out how to get the Nim emote for today, so I did it, and there she is.
Nice. Next up, we have my better brain half, the left brain to my right brain. We have Matt playing Darius.
Not sure how to feel about that.
I
can't remember what the left brain is associated with.
Left brain is the analytical and one that gets shit done.
Oh, dear.
I am the left brain. I am the left brain. That's Bo Burnham. I learned that because of McKenna telling me that all the random sounds that I was singing one day were all Bo Burnham songs. And that's a great transition to McKenna, who's playing Evie, who's responsible for all of our character art. McKenna, did you post a TikTok before this?
I most certainly did.
Where can they find it?
On TikTok. At McKenna Ray Art. McKenna Ray Art on all of the places, all of the apps. You know the ones. Yeah. The ones that might be called Twitter or X, who knows? We'll find out.
Or X Twitter.
We're all truly on the edge of our seat with bated breath, waiting for how that shakes out.
I'm not going to lie, the Scott Pilgrim fan in me really does hope that I can move on to another media platform so I can call Twitter my evil ex.
Oh, God. Anyway, I'm playing Evie. She's a plasmoid. She's an artificer. She's a little slime with a passion for science. My little STEM girly.
Nice. And last but not least, the incredibly talented GM of this stream, a person who's a very good person, Will. Hi, I'm Will, also known as Tabletop Rules. See, it's really weird when I'm kind to myself on the internet.
There has to be a middle ground here.
It's not. Being kind to yourself is different from complimenting yourself. Mm-hmm. Being kind to yourself is just not putting yourself down constantly.
But Matt,
there's a subtle nuance to this.
Do you know what we do have to do this week?
Play the intro?
No. Matt, there's one more thing before we play the intro. You need to tell us what these characters taste like.
Ah, yes. Okay.
What?
So we've been doing this thing all week because Will is weird.
You started this on Monday. Why is this my fault?
Yes, I started it, but then you took it too far.
I regrettably cracked a joke on Monday that you have not let us forget.
All right.
It ends after today.
Let's just get it over with.
So
rip the Band-Aid off.
Evie is a pink lemonade sorbet.
Oh, okay.
I like that.
Darius, because we didn't specify dessert today. No, actually we did. Darius is, I don't know, a creme brulee. Nice creme brulee. A little toasted.
Burnt on the outside, but sweet and soft on the inside.
Yeah. That satisfying little crinkle sound when you break the top.
Just a little bit charred from working by the forge.
Yeah. Vim is that weird flavor that you just can't get. You can't quite figure out what it is. It's a mystery right now. I'm looking at his character portrait.
Slimy, but satisfying.
It's that mystery flavor when they do the
like
handy guess a flavor when all it really is when they half finish one batch and start mixing another batch and call it mystery.
Luna is a 2 flavored cotton candy.
I was going to say cotton candy people are on the same page.
And Rash is one of those cool like tarts that has like kiwi in it.
Oh.
But has the nice like sugary glaze on top, so it's kind of shiny.
Maya would have appreciated that if she were here.
Yeah. And that's all the character portraits
so
to
dark,
comment.
Rose. I would have loved to hear that.
If she were here.
It does sound
Up there, not dead.
Maya is doing a play. If you're in the LA area and want to go see Maya in a play, you can by looking up their theater company, which McKenna or Rose will say because
The Loft Ensemble.
Thank you. The Loft Ensemble. Once we do it 3 times, I'll actually know. I'll remember it. But
I believe she's playing Hippolyta.
She's playing Hippolyta in a play about Penthesilea. So,
Yes.
so you
Amazon goodness.
get those
Feminism.
Achilles fans ready.
Rage.
All right. Well, it's time to us to roll that intro. Last time on the Astral Calling, our party chased a Mal monstrosity through the streets of Darius's homeworld.
Wow.
Eventually chasing it into a Margaritaville where it escaped through a mysterious portal of darkness. Luna, though, being the lucky little lot that they are, managed to catch up to them just in time to grab their cloak where a number of rings were discovered. They brought this to a jeweler who thought that the party was connected to...
Called the fucking cops on us.
Yeah.
Narc.
Yeah.
Cat cops.
Listen, if someone brings
What
a
are
whole
you, a
bunch
cop?
If someone brings a whole bunch of stolen goods that you have been told were gotten via murder to you and say, hey, how much are the... Hey, can you identify these for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, I'm going to...
Or you could have guessed we were investigating.
Oh
So-
my... Look, the camera switched again.
No, I'm with you, Will. I also would have called the cops on
Good
us.
switch.
I'm sorry.
No, well, so hold on. Here's my question: is the logic? This is a bit of a leap. How would the jeweler know to contact? Like, did they also tell like all the people who made their clothes for them to call the cops if someone came asking about them? Like,
No,
why the
but,
jeweler
like,
specifically?
Specifically, they have the fact that these rings are missing. Like, they found body parts, but the earrings have been missing from them all. So it was like a common connection.
Still a little weird.
Why would the kidnapper, killer, whatever, come asking about who those people were and present that evidence to anybody?
Maybe they're trying to pawn the rings off in like a stealthy way.
This is a longer discussion.
Either way.
It's not important.
Hey,
really.
if someone brings a whole bunch of these rings to your stand, give us a call, please. And that's what they did.
Mm-hmm.
They might be murderers.
Also, even if the people who were in possession of them were not murderers, they must have talked to the people who did murder them at some point. Or talked to someone who talked to someone. Like, there's a lead there.
We didn't talk to someone.
Also, chat, you all get a hero point, as this is one of the very rare times that McKenna actually agrees with me on something on stream. It's a blessed day, to be sure.
Wait, so chat gets a hero point, or I get a hero point?
Chat gets a hero
for
point.
agreeing with you.
No, if I start
What is chat gonna do with a hero point?
Feel good about it.
They'll feel good about it. And if I ever run a game for someone in chat that isn't on this stream or is like a private game, they have an extra hero point to spend.
Mm. You're welcome, chat.
You're welcome. And like, you know, if I ever get to run my anime bullshit game, other people you will get to benefit from that hero point. So you're good. But I think that was it. They had a little run-in with the Justicar of the city. And basically we're told that, hey, we're going to get these people, we're going to get the partners of the people who have been missing and presumed dead, their rings back as like closure. You wanted some of them to come talk to you, so the Justicar said they would send over basically some contact information to them.
Will, I'm sorry, but I'm getting some mixed information from you now. Last week we were told that these people were murdered, their bodies were found, sans earring. Now we're hearing that they are missing, presumed dead. We've also heard that body parts were found. What is the truth of this situation?
They have been murdered. It has been confirmed murdered. Bodies have been found. The bodies are missing body parts. Thank you for allowing. Thank you for.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me unjumble my brain. I apologize. It has been a long day.
It's okay. It's a Friday. That's what Fridays are for.
Birdie.
Naps, and then instead of napping, we do this, and this is what you get.
No, now I have Pokemon sleep. So if I don't get enough sleep at night, I make my Pokemon friends tired. So I now have a reason to go to bed at a reasonable hour.
Guilt you with the suffering of imaginary animals.
Literally, I opened up the app this morning after getting less sleep than I probably should have. And they're like, hey, you know, you didn't sleep enough, so your Pokemon friends are tired too. They're tired because of you not sleeping enough, so get more sleep. I was like,
wow.
Oh.
You're failing them, you miserable failure.
Wow. That's
They're coming back to
People to sleep is guilt.
Animal Crossing, everyone's dead.
Is Zero Fest gonna make your Pokemon really sad?
Yeah, they're going to become insomniacs.
Just you gotta have a disciplined schedule, Will, and part of that has to be about going to sleep.
100 boxes, no sleep till box 100.
It's a terrible idea.
Yes, it is
a terrible idea.
So I think, am I correct in remembering that we kind of left off with them about to wake up?
Yes, we left off with them in the dream world. With a very drunken bat at the window.
Yeah. And
also, I just wanted to clarify something from, I think last week.
Mm-hmm.
I worried Darius was coming off very mean when Vin was talking about his dreams, and it was actually a slight bit of passive-aggressiveness just about the whole meditating quips that people keep making.
I
didn't think you were mean.
Okay.
I think what people see when Vim wakes back up to them, not looking unhinged at all, would be them springing awake, pointing to Eevee, yelling, "It was a test specifically for me," and then downing a vial that he did not have when he went to sleep.
Oh my. Eevee says, yes, that is what I wrote. What are you... he drank it.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what that was.
Oh, no.
You feel energized, Vim. You're feeling good.
How do you feel?
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Can I see that, please?
Sure,
What is... I give it, a cursory, science smell.
It smells like mint julep.
Oh, now I'm thirsty.
Years.
No bike specifically for mint julep. No one can make mint juleps because most places don't have simple syrup lying around. Simple syrup.
Simple syrup.
Shut up.
For sure.
Maybe we should cut you off. Maybe we should cut you off now, Matt. Trying to slow your words a little bit.
Yes, Matt. Can you do the alphabet in reverse while touching your nose like so?
I can't do that sober.
I can't do that sober. If I ever get pulled over sober because I would never ever drive drunk and a cop thinks that I am drunk and they ask me to do that, I'm going to jail. I can't do the alphabet backwards.
As Rose tries to do it.
I'm really channeling that Luna energy.
I'm trying to think of something difficult I could do from memory. I can't.
United States, Canada, Mexico, Pamina.
No, I could never do that.
Pamina.
Well, what are you drinking?
Jail immediately.
1 million years dungeon.
I can spell a 36-letter long word. No,
That's fun.
Yeah. Which is the fear of long words, because it's kind of a dick move.
Well, so if this just smells like mint julep, can I make some sort of I don't know?
It has like a nice mint julep smell.
All right, I have the gosh darn identify spell.
Do you want to identify it?
I have brewer supplies.
However y'all want to do this. I leave it to you.
I haven't used the spell in like 2 sessions practically, so I'm going to use identify.
All right.
Okay.
Wait, no, I didn't prepare identify. Oh no, wait, yes.
Haha! I use brewer supplies to try to 21.
It's a domain spell. I always have it prepared.
Between Evie's brewer supplies and her knowledge of alchemical crafting, and the very obvious magical identification spell that later confirms it, the two of you are able to deduce that this is some sort of energy tonic. It is like a
Crimson Bowl, perhaps?
The best way to put it is that it's effectively a puberty blocker for Vim.
Very trans of Vim.
It's the best way to put it, right? Because like this is why I think of like the metamorphosis of Az.
Vim's not a child.
No, but like it's like your body rapidly changing. Like that's the best.
Yeah.
That's the best equivalency.
That's true.
That's like the best equivalency I have for it. So
bug puberty. Puberty. Some things I say just to make Chad do that. It's the highlight of my week if I can pull that off.
Breaking Chad is
just
fun.
By saying the stupidest shit I can possibly imagine, and sometimes it lands. I relay that this is meant to.
It's meant to discourage growth.
It's like an anti-growth hormone. Meaning that it will stop you from progressing into the later stages of your life.
I don't know what that means.
It's gonna kill Vim?
No, the opposite.
That would prevent someone from progressing to the later stages of their life. But Mother Myrtle gave it to me, so I know it's not going to kill me.
Right.
I don't like the way you're saying that.
No, I'm not saying it in any kind of way. I am just saying right as in correct, as in that is where you found it.
It is correct, and it is where I found it, and I still don't like the way you're saying it.
I believe you.
When Evie
we're saying the same thing.
When Evie has blind faith in the person that created them, it's okay. When Vim does it, it's problematic.
Unfortunately, Myrtle and Teletio are like diametrically opposed. So she does have to pick a side.
And one of us has a lot more evidence of one of them being shitty than the other.
Evie doesn't know what you're talking about.
Man fingers.
Yeah.
They made a deal.
Tell that to your man fingers.
They made a deal.
You take those man fingers and you shove them.
These 3 fingers are rightfully mine. They made a deal with Mother Myrtle, and then she gave them to me.
They made a deal. McKenna, they made a deal. That was what was agreed upon. It was perfectly known. I don't know why you suddenly have a problem with this.
Darius is sitting in a corner at this point, tinkering or something. Like I'm very confused about this conversation.
And I make some sort of check, Will.
Yes.
To if this person is giving Vim puberty blockers, then that must mean that there is some sort of, I hate to call it an evolution.
Dun.
But that does imply that changes are about to be happening.
That has to be something to be blocked. for there to be a reason
Yes.
to give a blocker of some sort.
Yes.
Can I make some sort of roll to hypothesize what the next phase
Make
might
me a
look
nature
like for
check.
Vim? Ooh, I don't think I'm good at nature, but I will do that anyway. Oh, I'm okay at nature. It's fine. Oh,
Okay, so Evie, please keep this natural
yes.
one.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
You think that Vim's next stage of life will probably be some form of sentient cocoon. Perhaps with a ability that could allow them to like harden their outer shell at will.
See, this sounds like that's actually what's going to happen, though. And I rolled a natural 1.
Yeah, his next evolution should be cheese.
That's okay. I'll yes and this.
Yeah.
Evie solemnly turns to Vim and says, "You are going to lose mobility, I think, if you do not continue taking this blocker."
And this is why I say nothing.
Darius, Vim's next stage of life, they are going to, if what you think is true about religion and about this, what could happen with Vim here, Vim's next stage of life is a hammer.
Something will be useful now.
Ooh.
I didn't say that.
Luna, you think Vim's next stage of life will be a bunny person just like you?
He's gonna be a bunny.
Is that where bunnies come from? Bug pods?
No, Luna. I think he is going to
But look,
form
he's already got
some
this
kind of
little, that could be
chrysalis,
tail,
I believe
or
is
that
the
could
word.
Be, ears, or he could be like me.
I think the next phase of his life is he will be entirely hardened to the world, which does track.
That does not seem right because he is squishy.
Well, yes, that is because he is squishy now, and then he will not be squishy. That's the progression.
This sounds like crazy talk.
Well, what do you think is going to happen if you don't take those blockers?
I'm gonna fall asleep a lot, and I'm really tired, and I'm gonna fall asleep at random times.
Sleeping often is a time when growing young boys will do a lot of their growing. That is probably why you are so tired. That is a common biological response to growth spurts.
That's not how moths work, Will. That's not how moths work. Moth cocoons aren't hard.
Yeah?
No, that's true. But that's why Evie is
silky.
wrong.
Also, Chad, look at your character sheet.
Yeah, I see it. That's why I'm saying that's not how moths work, Will.
Well, it's how this one's going to work.
That's how butterflies work, not moths.
He's a beautiful butterfly.
Okay. Well, I gave you something fun to use if you want.
This all sounds...
I don't know if I spelt it correctly, though, so feel free to change it.
You didn't, but it's okay.
Straight for the jugular, Chad. No hesitation.
Oh, sorry.
God, I love this game.
Okay. So, I all I know is I've been really tired, and okay, in fairness, Mother Myrtle did say something about changes or something.
Right.
I don't know. She didn't really specify, but she said this to have me stay awake and not jump back and forth so wildly. And
do you
also,
think it was wise then to down it all at once and then not have any more?
That's what she told me to do.
Oh, interesting.
I imagine when I do eventually. No. I imagine eventually I'll still end up tired and just have to go back. But
yes, I think that is correct.
And can we accept the fact that I had something that I didn't have before?
Yes, you were clearly there because you saw the notes.
Okay. Thank you.
On a side note,
that means I'm not crazy in any way.
Watching Vim sleep, they never left.
Are we watching Vim sleep now?
No, if you woke up in the middle of the night, Vim was never gone. Vim was just there asleep.
Also on this one, we didn't like all separate and go to sleep. I was in the pouch, one of the pouches, and like just passed out.
Yeah.
The pouches.
Yeah, that's. I think that is a real place. I suppose the only other thing you could try is making contact outside of Myrtle to see specifically what plane this is. For example, if you wanted to try to get in touch with one peaceful peace blossom, you might be able to contact her in person.
There's a reason, and maybe that's possible. As loath as I am to do that, there's a reason why that would be difficult though, because it's kind of. I mean, I haven't really gone exploring now, but when I was there before with Mother Myrtle, it was really just her hut and the forest kind of seemed like kind of just went. But then when I left, when it was different, the forest didn't seem as big. I was able to get out of, and that's when I got picked up by the ship and Mayark's trifling ass. And
agreed. Mayark does have a trifling posterior.
So I don't know if I can make contact with other people because in my experience, the people that were there were always just me and Mother Myrtle.
Interesting. That would be the next thing that I would experiment with if I were you. Of course, I'm not, so.
Yeah, I don't even know where I would try to go. Even when I left, I didn't really see a bunch of other people. I saw the other women that were like Mother Myrtle, but angrier and less pleasant. And then I saw the people on the ship that clearly weren't from there. They were just happening to be there.
Right. Well, I suppose you could ask her who else is with the two of you in that realm?
Yeah, because it just never came up.
Right.
I mean, obviously she has to, speak to other people at times. Otherwise, how could I honestly come by these 3 animate desiccated fingers? She had to have met this guy and made that deal some.
Right. This is true. Okay, well, I suppose that is, I think, all of the information that we can gather from this for now. Did she have anything to say about the notes? Did she see them?
She saw your note, but it was like she couldn't read it right.
Oh.
It looked like I could read it, but she couldn't.
Like she couldn't see the words on the paper, or?
Or it was like weird to her. It looked weird to her. But she can read. I mean, she taught me.
Right.
I mean, I know like 4 languages or something like that. She taught me.
Interesting. So she couldn't read it, but you could read it.
But I've heard that you can't actually read in the dream.
But I could. But then again, I'm some kind of dream god thing, so maybe that's just that.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Fun fact, that is an old wives' tale. You can evacuate.
That is fine. Dreams. I learned it from Batman the Animated Series. Luna don't know better.
Yeah, that's true. I have in dreams in the past been like, well, if this is a dream, I won't be able to read. And then I look at like a word or a string of numbers and I'm like, sick. Those are real words and real numbers. I guess this isn't a dream. And then it is.
I've had full dreams where I've built magic decks in them with actual cards.
Jesus.
And then woke up, oh no, I have to do all the work again.
Yeah. That's more information
the
that you would
trick.
have to torture me to get me to admit.
The real trick is not being able to read in real life.
Ooh.
As a non-American, that's surprisingly difficult.
Darius has very different dreams.
Yeah, mostly prayer.
Is Darius saying this in the third person?
No, Darius is.
Oh, okay.
He's been staying out of the conversation mostly because he didn't feel like he had anything to add. But he does get a slight pensive look when the topic of dreams like what people see in their dreams comes up.
Would Artificed Mao dream? Anyway.
This also
Darius,
would...
I was gonna say, I don't suppose you have any input on this.
I'm apologetic. I'm afraid this is all a tad outside my what do you call it, wheelhouse. Also, I am concerned still about the missing children, and I'm not sure where we're going from here.
Well, this can help because then this time I won't, fall asleep as easily, so I can be awake and alert for us to do whatever we need to do on that.
And also, it is good to be aware of any impending changes.
Also, it makes me think, actually, this all makes sense because I didn't really dream before. I just fell asleep and back. But I don't dream because I'm in the dreams because I am this dream god thing.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Glad we have that situated and figured out, and everybody's in agreement. I hear no denials. All right, agreed. It's official.
After Millis finishes editing this section for like for her channel, people are going to make like Vim Dream God AO3 fanfics.
Why?
Why not?
I don't. What are they? What is the ship? What's the?
It's Vim X and the Power of Dreams.
I'm confused.
Moving on. We need to look at the next step to finding these people.
Well, you have options. There are the spouses that you could chat with. That a messenger Mao kind of gives Darius an envelope that just has sort of addresses on it. Of places where people can be found.
Emotionally devastating.
In addition to that, you could always start undertaking the lead that you had with the cloak. The fact that it was attached to a mortician.
Is it a thing to maybe magically find the person who owns this?
You could.
I mean, unless you guys are really gung-ho about going to talk to people about their dismembered loved ones.
We should give the rings back to them, but
I think the police are handling that.
Yes, the police are getting the rings back.
I am not opposed to speaking to the families of the bereaved. I just don't know how much we would learn from them or how willing they would be to talk about.
Maybe. I don't know if this is something we would need to talk to them or talk to the law enforcement, but maybe them would be better is to come up with where they might have been when they went missing. We have kind of one point of data of...
In the law enforcement's little package, they do basically like mention some things about the people who are dead. And it's all male now.
Men and children is what these people are after.
Interesting.
Well, could I do Could I do a sort of my own culture kind of history check, determine if there's any sort of legends about like urban legends about, dark things that hide in the shadows and hunt Mao men and children.
Rose, you get a hero point. I'm using that. I'm going to fucking
Oh.
use that. That's amazing.
Oh boy.
I hate when I start to know when something is not a real world reference and is instead a Fate reference that uses the name of actual real people.
No, this wasn't.
Jack the Ripper exists.
I really like Rose's like idea here, so I'm tempted to change the name of them to that, but I'm not going to.
Boy.
So Matt, what did you want to do?
Basically just a kind of my own culture, kind of thinking back whether I ever heard stories about either criminals or urban legends of things specifically that fit this kind of pattern that go after men and children, but not women.
Make me a history check.
Okay. Not very good at this. I'm a very sheltered boy. In a monastery, 9.
Yeah, nothing immediately is coming to mind.
Fair enough.
Matt, as you're kind of like racking your brain on that, you feel a warmth as Nito's beside you, because the enchantment on the earring from the ceremony spell.
Is that what, can we teleport?
No, she just walked up beside you, so you feel warm.
Oh, okay.
Because the bonus tier AC is active right now.
Oh, I feel extra tanky right now.
Yeah.
Is that what they're calling it?
It's the rhino pills.
Well, I am not well versed in rituals that might help us detect the owner of the cloak. It is my understanding that such a ritual exists, but that is not my field of expertise. She sort of looks to Darius and Nito like,
oh, I'm not magically I apologize. I realize that I've never really talked about what my capabilities are. Darius is a very gifted cleric. They have been fervently rewarded by the Spark for their prayer. Myself, I am more gifted in physical matters and martial matters.
I am looking at...
She actually like takes a moment. It's like, yes, now that I've actually made it home, I've had a chance to repair them. And you see on her armor these like 2 bracers. And then she just kind of like flexes her arms back, and they turn into like 2 shields that have swords on like the edges of them.
oh, okay, fun.
Yeah.
Double stabs. I'm into it.
The closest thing I could do to any sort of magical ability to help us with this would be Speak with Dead, and I don't have that prepared today, so we'd have to do a long rest.
There is mayhaps...
and also we need access to one of the bodies.
There is a number of casters in the city.
We can
find someone who can.
Yeah, because I can like mess with somebody's head. I can find poisons. I can conjure forth beings from the dream realm.
Well, hold on. If we waited long enough for us to level up, then I would have access to locate creature, maybe.
There is the monastery of...
Assuming I get 4th level like that.
The monastery of the written word. It is a group of people who worship the Spark on the planet who are intent to creating vessels for knowledge. Perhaps you could find something there, or someone who could cast a spell. So like a library? Yes, similar to a library, but more religious.
Is there gonna be beef between y'all and them?
Like, yes. Is there any
hammers versus pens?
Avoid on the basis of you have bad blood with them religiously?
No, I mean, we as a species don't really have any sort of religious conflicts. We've risen above that.
I don't know. I feel like
mean,
I've heard some snarky comments here and there.
There is that one sect of people who believe that all creation is done, and that the only way for more to be created is for everything to be destroyed first.
You said that very casually for something that is essentially a doomsday cult.
Yes, they are a doomsday sect, but they're relatively new to my understanding. So, I don't really have any interaction with them, and I don't particularly know where they worship.
I mean, if they're relatively new, maybe they just need to like talk to somebody and hug it out. Like maybe they just like.
Do they wear a lot of black turtlenecks and listen to very angsty music?
I don't know. I have not interacted with them.
Well, let us go to this monastery of the written word and see if we can't find someone.
Yeah, somebody can maybe do some sort of locates magic thing or divination or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you are able, if you want, Nito can guide you there. They have often visited this library, although Darius, you also know its location. E.g., do you want Nito to come with you, Darius?
I think I can guide them. We might be better served if you keep looking around the monastery, see if there are any additional clues or if anyone has learned anything new. We need to perhaps maximize our resources, and that might mean spreading out a little bit.
Of course, dear. I will follow your lead. Anita gives you like a little lap on your cheek, like a little kiss, and then heads off.
Do you normally lick each other as a goodbye?
That's a very pertinent question. I just turn and leave.
When you're doing it out in the open, Darius, you gotta expect questions.
I did not realize that was an offensive question. I apologize.
Well, it's just not an offensiveness thing, but it's very personal.
She just did in front of. Anyway, we should go.
You're allowed to do it. You're just not allowed to talk.
Evie sets off in a direction and then sort of walks back and says, "I don't know where this is."
Yes. I lead us towards the Temple of the Written Word, or the Monastery of the Written Word, which I've always felt is a tad on the nose, but that's just a little inter-monastery ribbing.
Yeah, you would think for a place that prides themselves on writing and words, they would find a more poetic.
Maybe it's a.
They're an intelligence-based order, not a wisdom-based order.
Maybe it's a sneak diss on everybody else. Like, we know you won't get it unless we spell it out for you.
Well,
so I think you'll find when you meet them, they're not that.
Especially the filigree, especially the filigree group. They're all artists, so like most of them can't really read all that well, apparently.
Lots of picture books.
Lots of picture books.
Might fit in there.
Yeah, so we go to the monastery.
Yeah, you begin making your way there. Monastery of the Written Word is very different from Darius's. It is a lot more
less sound of hammers,
but there's less sound of hammers, and it is more blocky in its structure. Like, you can tell that this has been a building that a number of wings have been added to throughout the years, and it's sort of been like stacked on top of each other, and it's created this very interesting building that has like a number of like large like rectangles jutting out and like reading nooks all over the place. As you approach it, a young Mao, about 7 or 8, kind of gallops towards you and says, "Welcome to the monastery. If you are here to read, please allow me to be your guide. My name is Nari. It's very nice to meet you. Hi there."
Hello. We were wondering if we could get in touch with someone about a location spell. For example, if we had an item that someone had lost and we wanted to return it to them, would there be a ritual that could facilitate that?
Yes, there. Oh, yes.
I was just going to say, in the interest of honest candor, we are here investigating a somewhat serious matter. We are looking into missing people, so we are not simply. This is not a
We're not just
dalliance.
returning a cloak; we're delivering justice.
Oh, all right. I'm a child. I got cantrips. I got light and create water.
No, but you probably know somebody.
Yeah, there are people here who can do that for you. I'll take you to Big Brother. What?
No. Evie does nothing. McKenna goes, that's a little Orwellian.
Not like Big Brother in the sense of like, it's
no,
like,
Big Brother in the cringy anime way. That's okay.
Not
I got
in the
it.
cringy anime. Yeah, like this is a person this is a child who sees this person as like their brother.
Yeah, the cringy anime way.
Yeah.
The I've watched too many dubs kind of way.
Can I? This is why I can't have nice
I'm
things.
sorry.
McKenna was so nice to me until now. But yeah, they lead you through the monastery as they're going. It's like, yeah, we have an open library. So, if you have anything, it is 15 gold pieces to rent out a book, and you are expected to return it.
Okay.
Again with the gold pieces.
Well, credits. 15 credits.
I'm just ribbing you.
That's fine. You do it kindly. It's 15 credits to rent out a book.
Why?
Let's see. Well, because then if people don't return books, we're able to replace them.
No, why would they want a book?
To read?
Why?
Well, it depends. Like, and like as they're walking, like some people like to learn from books. Some people read for entertainment. There's a number we actually have, and as you're walking, you see like a number of like Mao in a circle with like fans kind of fanning themselves as they're reading. We have a number of
so some people read for prayer too.
Yes. We have a number of book clubs. Yes, a number of our priests read for prayer. It is quite the fervent process. I personally believe
weird thing to say.
I personally
I'll be very happy when we leave my home planet.
I personally believe that the most classy of Mao read to pray.
Well, maybe you should wait.
Eat, pray, and love all mean the same thing.
You are all criminals.
Thought crime.
1 million years
That's
dungeon.
both kinds of thought, by the way. I'm so sorry. I'm truly in such a mood tonight.
It's fine. I've gotten used to it on Fridays.
This is like my end of the week. Like I'm a little tired. I'm a little loopy.
Yeah.
I also missed when I have a Thursday nap. I'm a little less this energy, but I did not have a Thursday nap.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So this is what you get.
I love it. This is fun. This is fun McKenna. I enjoy fun McKenna.
This is something. We don't need a book. We are actually looking for a person to perform a ritual.
I know. I'm just giving you the tour while I take you to Big Brother.
Apologies.
Yeah, we're just moving through. I figured I would, talk to you instead of standing in silence like a very awkward person.
Do people think that's awkward?
Yes.
When I do that? Oh.
See?
When I'm quiet, people usually think I'm scheming.
You are usually scheming.
I kind of think when you're tired, you're falling asleep.
Eventually, you are brought towards a chamber. They kind of like knock at the door. Big Brother, and you hear like, when Darius gets interrupted when they're meditating and they let out that like sigh.
Yeah, the exasperation.
You hear the same. You hear the same exasperation. Just and then you hear some moving. And they open the door and they just look down. It says, "I told you to stop calling me your brother. We're not related." "But you're my big brother." It's like,
Oni-chan.
Go, Chan.
Yikes.
Yikes.
You're not the only one with the Friday brain.
I apologize for you all if that took any sort of time. I was mid-prayer. Please, come in.
I come in.
Yeah. They have like a number of cushions set out in the middle of the room. There's like a book stand in the middle that has a book open to a page that has like a magical device turning the page. It's like mid-page turn. Nice. Yes, it magically keeps track of your eyes so it knows when you're done the page and it turns it for you. This way your hands are free for prayer.
Oh, nice. That sounds very useful.
It is.
I explained to him the same thing that I explained to the little baby girl.
Cloak, shreds. We need to find the owner.
Yes, I can definitely help with that. I apologize. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Brother Vachelet.
Brother Vachelet.
Yes, Vachelet.
It is good to meet you.
Vashalla.
Okay, I didn't think he was going to be a frequent enough character to write down. I will rectify that.
Well, I mean, it is a spell that takes some time to cast. It is a ritual, and it does have a limited sort of range to it, and a limited time span.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because specifically, what spell do you want?
Oh, I don't know. This is not my area of expertise. What spell do you think would work the best for this?
If it was one of us, locate person, because then we could find Rash. But I don't think that'll work for someone we're getting to cast a spell for us. Hold on a second.
No, whoever. I mean, using the cloak to either locate the
I already used
person.
locate object and that failed, so we gotta try something different here.
Well, locate objects failed because they are out of range.
Yeah.
But then it in general just has kind of
still won't work because they're probably out of range.
Yeah. But the thing is, a lot of these have a range, so.
Scry. I don't know what level Scry is though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's also part of it, Wills. I don't know what we have access to with this guy.
I mean, we can ask, I guess.
Exactly. I figured he would know his.
Scrying is a 5th level spell.
They would have access to Scry.
Oh. That could be very useful.
I do warn you, however, I can't share the vision with anyone. It would be simply myself.
Well, as a well-read person, I imagine you'd probably be good at giving descriptions of things you see.
We can play Pictionary.
I am decently well-read. I mostly stick to knowledge myself. Now you're looking around the room. You can see that there's like a number of sort of like alchemical sort of accoutrement throughout here. I tend to dabble more into the alchemical arts personally.
You're native here too, and you live here, and depending on where they are, you might be able to recognize some, like, hey, this looks like it's from this area.
That's what I'm hoping, to be honest with you.
That would actually be more useful, you doing it, than one of us seeing it.
Quick question, Will.
Mm-hmm.
Inside of 17, anything sketchy about this guy?
He seems fine. He seems a little bit off-put.
He's not actually the secret murderer that we just came.
You did like kind of like drop a lot on their plate. Like, this is a person whose like job is to cast magic spells, and like you've been like, hey, we need you to help us solve murders, and so they're a little bit taken aback by that, maybe.
Yeah.
Evie goes very quiet, and while everyone else is talking, realizes how much alchemical goodness is around her. Can I roll either perception or investigation to see what is the most interesting thing in this room to Evie?
Roll it for me. Make me an investigation check.
24.
There's a bunch of embalming fluid.
That's the most interesting thing?
Yeah, it's like, this is like a process to make like a very sophisticated embalming fluid by the looks of it.
I quietly wander over and get a closer look at everything while everyone else is talking.
Fair enough. So yes, if you'd like, I can begin casting a scrying spell. It will take me a little bit of time.
10 minutes, in fact.
But if you'd all like to sit down and join me, I can get my table set up and I can begin to scry.
I ask him to let me know when he's like finished and about to actually do the scry. He said I can give him a quick little patty cake guidance.
All right, I will appreciate that.
Actually, I don't think that actually would help.
I'm just imagining. Be like, are you ready to do it? Yes. Okay. Full patty cake. And
like making biscuits. Making biscuits.
I'm just thinking the full motion of patty cake between the two of them, and it's like, and now you may scry.
It's like a full like secret handshake.
As he's moving behind the desk, he like turns like, and they seem to be collecting like a number of small books as well as like some sort of ritual plate. As they're doing so, they look over to you, Evie. Oh, are you interested in the alchemical processes I'm attempting here?
I am interested in many alchemical processes. These are certainly one of them.
Yes. This one specifically is I'm working on a embalming fluid to preserve the dead for longer, so that it could hopefully allow for multiple castings of Speak with Dead for grieving families.
That could prove useful, especially when we are looking for a murderer.
I mean, in general, I think in general for grief it may be good.
For Speak with Dead, is there a time limit on how dead they are? I don't think there is.
No, but the body just decayed and gone.
I suppose, yeah. Interesting. Evie sort of keeps looking, because they don't need me for the scrying.
No. They set up like a little ritual. They have this like beautiful mahogany board, and as they put it down on the board, there's several small book stands, and they have like these like tiny pocket-sized books that they put each onto each stand. And as they begin the scrying spell, they kind of like nod towards Darius and say, try to keep track. It'll be difficult for me to alert you while I'm in the midst of casting the spell, but I'm beginning now. In about 9.5 minutes, you'll want to give me any sort of blessing you would want.
Yeah, I may just do a blessing of the spark, because I don't technically think any spells I have will assist with them. It's assuming they end up scrying on someone who doesn't want to be scryed, it's a saving throw on the other side. Nothing I can do can help with that, so I will just hope that the spark shines on us.
As they begin casting a spell, you see the pages of the books turning at a rapid pace, sometimes stopping, sometimes turning back. It looks like a very like masterful sort of speed reading situation. They begin the incantation, and it continues on for 10 minutes. And then they stop, and you see them kind of freeze up for a second. And then they return to you. That was interesting, to say the least.
More.
Let me ask you all a question. And they walked behind their table and they pull out what appears to be a piece of paper, and they put it in front of all of you. Everyone but Darius would be able to see this. There's those runes on the paper.
Oh. Where did you come by those?
I was doing a investigation into a new sect of the Spark that has come up. I managed to enter into one of their places of worship, and I discovered some of their text, most of it being blank paper. I grabbed a few of them, thinking that there may be some sort of cipher or code, hidden message perhaps, and on the way out, one of their guards saw me, and they, like, point out, they, like, kind of lift up their sleeve a bit, and you see, like, a little bit of, like, a bandage on them. I was injured slightly, and the next thing I knew, the paper had writing all over it. I ask because the location I saw had much of this writing there. It was engraved into the ground itself.
That is not good.
Is this the same sect that other people have talked about being like to create, we must destroy everything?
Yes, the Nihility Spark sect.
Okay, so do they have certain areas they frequent?
They move about a fair amount. To my understanding, it was sort of a stroke of luck that I found them initially. I spent some time looking for them myself, and I was only able to find them via stumbling upon them.
Were you able to get anything identifying in what you saw?
There was a few factors that I found that were identifiable. It had the look of the old town on it. This planet is very old. We've built upon it as the Spark has wished us to do. But sometimes to build, instead of destroying the creations, we simply built on top of them. In one of these such areas, it appeared to be where they were hiding, or perhaps where they were. There were a number of candles, there were these items, and I believe I saw some sort of goblinoid strung about on the floor.
Strung about?
Yes, they were sort of, and I apologize, apologetically. It is difficult for me to recreate it, as I don't have a form of this body, but they just kind of like plop themselves on the ground, like.
I don't think that was necessary.
So they killed goblins or something like that.
Older looking goblinoid.
Wait a second.
Old.
Definitely in their senior years, I believe. They had a number of wrinkles. There was a... I don't know what the garment is, but they had this sort of shawl.
Did they look dead, or did they look like sleeping, maybe?
Their eyes were open and they were not moving.
Oh.
Don't like that.
Don't like that at all.
I very, very sadly pick up my sending stone and say, "Are you still there?"
There is no answer.
Are you there, God? It's me. She could be a whole person or something, or they just could have taken the sending stone.
But if there is an old lady, this is a lady, old lady goblin
As far as I can tell, yes.
with the little headscarf, her babushka.
It was not with the body, but it was nearby. Been taken off.
Calling it the body.
I apologize. Were they close to you?
They are.
This is my grandmother.
They look at you for a second, Luna. Ah, I understand. Well, I may not be of much use to you in locating it. I'm more than happy to help you. As I said, this is a danger to me. If anything were to happen to, well, any of the children that come and that I take care of here, I would be distraught.
They definitely seem to be going after children.
Yes.
Do you perhaps have any knowledge of urban legends or myths of anything that might match this pattern of behavior?
Of the missing children? Or
of missing children, of pardon the graphicness of this, but the mangling of adult males. It just seems very specific, and I don't know. It feels
there is an old sort of tale of our people. The spell that is cast upon the earrings, a ceremony. It is expensive to create a version of it that will last longer than 7 days. There was a rumor for some time of people who would dispose of their loved ones after the ceremony's spell's benefits had ended, in order to be able to experience that magic again. It is rare, but it has happened in the past.
Icky.
That seems pretty excessive.
yes. Oh, I need that +1 AC, man. Ooh.
Y'all got some of that AC?
You seem kind
I've
of
never heard of leather armor.
and like now looking at this one, you can see that their ear has been pierced. There's a number of ear piercings on this man, but there's not earrings in them. The ear is just pierced, and it's like mid healing.
Oh. What do you want to say?
It's a widower.
So, as I said, I will gladly attempt to help you in any way that I can. I think there are a few leads that we could chase down together. There is the old city, of course. But, and I do hesitate to say this as it is a touch macabre, I had an inkling that the person responsible for these killings may be going after particularly interesting specimens that they perhaps meet on the streets or in their day-to-day life. So it may be wise just to keep an eye on the streets for some time. I'd be more than happy to accompany any of you to do so if you wanted to
Like
split
a
up.
nightly patrol?
Like a neighborhood watch?
Even during the day, perhaps. I apologize. I'm not particularly good at finding people who are still breathing, I'm afraid.
Oh. Okay.
Like I said, most of my, and they point to the alchemical, interest is in a more macabre sort.
The issue with just watching out for them is that if our previous experience is an indication, the way they can kind of call people towards them and kind of not really teleport, but kind of change them into focus.
They could dissolve them into mist, if that rings a bell for you.
Oh,
you kind of have to get your eyes directly on them when they're doing something.
That sounds like when I made it to the street, the people that were chasing me from that cult, once I stepped into the light and into the view of others, stepped into some sort of shadowy mist and disappeared. So perhaps that was something to do with that cult. Maybe heading into the old town together may be a way of doing that. I can give you a general idea where they may be.
Does this guy seem like he's luring us into a trap?
I did an insight check earlier. But also at this point, I'm not sure it entirely matters.
Seems fine. Vim, there's something about this guy.
Yeah.
It's interesting because you can tell he's trying to maybe like it seems like he's trying to push you towards the cult rather than towards the serial killer.
Okay. To
Wait a quick second here. I want to check something.
Yeah, because I'm not sure how to address. I mean, other than talk about it afterwards, I'm not sure.
It's a Cooper. Look at our working boy.
Also, I would like to point out to the group, though, I'm not going to say this out loud in character. If we run out of things today, I could prepare Zone of Truth tomorrow, and we could talk to this guy again.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, we can come back for a second conversation.
I can make one.
A zone?
Yes.
You could make one what?
A zone.
Of truth?
Of truth?
No, just a zone.
Kind.
And there are many zones, but a zone of truth would be good.
Okay.
I sort of look to the embalming man, Vasheray, what is his name?
Yeah, Vasheray.
And just say, you understand that this is a very delicate matter. You wouldn't mind if we were all making sure that we were being truthful, yes?
I feel a tad offended that you wouldn't trust in me, but...
Immediately trust a stranger?
I'm not a stranger, I'm a priest.
Yikes. Big yikes, bro.
Big yikes.
Well, we're strangers to you, too, so you don't know what we're about.
We could be in the cult.
Either.
I am implicitly trusting you right now.
Well, you shouldn't, but with this you can.
That's a very dark view of the world. Don't you think it's better to be able to trust in the people around you? I apologize. I think we are done here. Then please exit my study.
Right, I'll break his neck. No. Okay. Thank you for your time.
You'd think that someone with nothing to hide would not take issue with this.
I apologize, but I don't enjoy the effects of other spells on me.
And so you put your personal comfort above a possible search for people.
What, kidnapping?
Oh,
okay,
wow.
Well,
okay, well, all right, well, honest.
Sure.
Here's a quick question. How big is this room?
That's like 20 feet across, 20 feet.
Did we, as we walked up to this room, do we know if there is another room next to it?
Yeah. There's like several studies.
Go in the other room, hug the wall, cast the Zone of Truth there, and have someone come back in here and ask him questions. How big is Zone of Truth? 60 feet. It could conceivably work. The wall won't stop the spell.
They're aware of the spell.
Yeah, they are aware, but then it's cast.
So they just don't speak to you. They're not...
Yeah, because they can shoot. They're not compelled to speak.
They're not compelled to speak.
Yes, but then their silence is damning.
Yeah, it's already a little damning.
Yeah, they're already choosing silence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Well, thanks. I guess.
Duly noted.
Yeah, I guess we just leave them.
Priorities have been
established.
I don't think we're gonna get anywhere further by needling them. So
no.
So yeah, let's bounce from this guy.
Yeah. All right. Well, obviously they're the serial killer. So
yeah, as we like
we've met
out,
3 people, and they're the only one who's been suspicious. So it has to be them.
Yeah, as we get out of the place, it's like
I've read a book. That's how it works.
I can't tell if he's like there's an angle being played there, and I'm not sure if it's he likes the murder and was trying to set us up a trap, or if he doesn't care about the murders but he cares about the cult so much that he just wants to direct everything to that.
He's just a very weird guy.
Yes, I suppose that just because he is off-putting and unpleasant, that does not necessarily mean that he is the murderer.
And the embalming stuff, doesn't he need subjects to like test it?
He could do that with animals.
Yes, but people die every day. He would not necessarily need murder victims for that.
He could just, rob graves.
Or just, he could make an agreement, that part could be on the up and up, maybe.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
But my bigger issue is the way he acted at the end there means we can't trust everything about what he told us that he saw, but unless he is in on it, he wouldn't have known about Rash before. So he kind of either seems to have to be in on it or did literally see an older goblin splayed out on the ground.
Though, fair point, we don't know if they were being truthful about what they saw.
No, but he wouldn't have known to put a... unless he was in on it, he wouldn't have known to bring up a goblin described in that way. That seems like it would be a random thing.
Well, unless they saw us when we first arrived or something, or someone told them possibly. We are, no offense to you, my companions, but we are a bit of an oddity. A unique looking group. Word would spread, maybe.
The only reason I can think of to bring it up would be to be in on something in some way, because you'd be luring us somewhere with that information. If you're bringing it up on purpose and not being honest about it.
But she didn't answer.
There could be other reasons for that. Not a lot of them, but there could be. I suppose we have 2 options then, which is to go to the old city with the understanding that they may be expecting us, or we backtrack and we go to the families of the deceased.
I feel I'm the biggest cautious. I feel our best shot is maybe to go to the old city, because it's potentially we may get new information there, and we may just hear similar things as what has been heard about when the children were abducted. We talk to the families.
I would like
a strange figure in a cloak with multiple arms, which sadly may not give us any new information.
What was that, Luna?
Sorry.
Oh, I would like to, make a move. I don't think that. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm not that smart, but I feel like if all we do is sit and gather information, the bad stuff's just gonna keep happening and getting worse, and they may find out that we're trying to gather the information, and the information could change. And I just want to go find Rash.
Yeah, well, I think what you're saying goes right along with what Darius is
Yeah,
saying that.
I agree with the Darius that we should
Yeah,
go to
that
2 votes for the old city.
Going to the old city, we might just gather the same information, and we might just hear the same information from the parents that we kind of already know. I would maybe suggest if we feel like the the law enforcement. I have a name written down. I don't know if that's the name of that person or not. Is somewhat trustworthy to maybe put them on the trail of just keeping an eye on this Vishala. Just something sketchy is going on there. Maybe it has nothing to do with this, but something sketchy is going on there.
They could also just be a very weird person. But no, it does seem sketchy.
With the things they were telling us specifically and kind of pushing us towards this cult, I think it's more than just being weird.
So what is your vote for?
My vote is to go to the old city, but maybe share some information with if we don't think they'll just be like, oh, well, they're one of us, we're not going to, we're going to tip them off that they're being talked about or something like that. If we don't think that's going to happen, then maybe.
I will defer to Darius's judgment, given that he is the most familiar with the customs. I would also defer to Luna's battle instinct. I know you don't think that you're smart, but I do. And I think you have good instincts. And I think this is one of those times. So I think the old city is the best way to go.
Right, did they give us a way to contact them?
The Justicar gave you a card.
Yes, the Justicar.
Basically, go to any sort of guard station and they will summon her.
You know what I thought occurs to me. While we may not have been willing to force the issue about Zone of Truth and like, we should just give the Justicar this guy's name and said he's asking Fishy and might know something, and they can, take him in for questioning.
That's possible, but yeah, if we think they can be reasonably trusted, the Justicar, then I would say let's kind of give them that lead to touch on while we go to the old city.
All right.
Okay.
Do you summon?
Everybody else here seems to call the cops, so we might as well too.
Yeah. Do we want to actually have a full conversation, or do we just want to have something written down and
whatever you prefer?
Well, I'm asking the group. Do we just want to have something written down, explaining that we can just kind of show them the thing and hand it off to them that they can get it to, while we go ahead and leave? Or do you think we need to just so we don't have to wait for them to get here and go through all that, and we can go ahead and start on our way while they're
I'm fine either way.
delivering information.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all it's aimed to be.
So what would you like to do?
We are going to. Did we say we could summon the Justicar?
Yes,
or
you can basically bring her card to any station, and then they will call for her, and she will come.
I think we can bring the card to the station, but tell them to pass on the message that one, we are heading to investigate the old city to follow up on a lead. We don't know if it's anything, so we don't necessarily need them to come follow us. But B, we also do think that this person we just talked to at the temple seems to know more than they are saying. They very notably refused to engage in a zone of truth with us. Perhaps you, as a legal authority, might have a better shot at finding out what they know.
Yeah.
All right.
So if nothing else, they could just tail them for a bit, see if they go
at
to
the very least,
anybody.
Keep an eye on them, especially now that maybe we've spooked them a little bit, and they'll need to. But
if Rash wasn't on the line, I would say, hey, we should watch and tail them and see if they meet up with anybody. But Rash is on the line, So we need to get going.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So,
So you leave the note. The guards at the station simply say, "We will deliver to the Justicar upon their arrival. Thank you."
Thank you. Darius, do we know where the old city is? Do you know where?
I would imagine I would know where it is.
Yeah, there's like
it's a pretty big thing. Probably not like I don't know where specific shop
that
is.
Like young Mao are like taken down there as like a tour often. Like you know how like in like France you can
the
go
old trip.
Yeah, it's sort of like, you know, how, like, sometimes a bunch of Boy Scouts are brought into the woods and taught, like, all right, kids, it's time for a nature hike. Except, all right, kids, it's time for a hike through ancient history.
Yeah.
So, and, you know, people, like, come down there and, like, people move through. Albeit the people who move through the old city aren't exactly on the up and up a lot of the time. Like, you know, there's, like, smuggling and stuff down there and all of that, but... Yeah, Darius would be able to get you into it pretty easily, and before they got skeeved out, they did give you like an idea of the location of it in the old city.
Yeah,
okay. Let's be extra cautious in case it was a trap.
Yes.
Yeah.
And maybe find a back entrance.
As y'all are heading down there, can everyone but Darius make me a perception check?
Why everyone but me again?
Because you can't see the
things.
Oh. Still looking at that.
Wrong thing.
I have like 2 hero points.
That's a nat 20.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
And I don't need them.
Ding, 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 ding,
Evie,
ding.
as you are all walking down into the city, you see a phrase written on basically like a side of a building that simply reads, destruction benefits those who seek silence. And when you meet, you should remain so that destruction knows you are its ally.
And when you meet, you should remain so destruction knows you are its ally?
Yes.
Okay. I'm assuming, Rose, you just typed that.
No, I was.
Never mind.
Multiple like inspiration hero points now, and I was like, I should keep track of those outside of.
Word.
I get the idea that maybe
I like Luna.
It's Friday.
I get the idea that maybe if a group of them comes up on us, we should kind of like sit there, and they might not be hostile immediately.
Oh, I would like to just kick their butts.
I would too, but if they're not hostile immediately,
I would like to kick their butts.
They could lead us to where Rash is.
So tail them.
Yeah, or at least make them think that we're not initially hostile to them.
Yeah. As you make your way down into the catacombs below, there, sitting at the entrance here is an older woman, an older Mao. She's sort of curled up, sitting on a mat. Oh, it's not often you get visitors down here. Welcome to the old city. Please, if you'd like a guide, I am more than happy to accept your coin in favor of its service. I grew up here.
Insight check. Maybe not for me, because I have a plus nothing to it, but maybe from someone. This is 16.
She seems.
That's a 22.
Vim, this is a person who is like just trying to make some money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They are not sketch.
I kind of figured down here is more or less abandoned.
Oh, it was abandoned by many folks, but there are still paths to Rome that are safe, and there are paths to Rome that are less than safe. I'm happy to show you through the safe ones.
We have reason to believe that our friend was brought down here.
I have a feeling that we may not be staying on the paths that are safe.
Then in that case, allow me to rescind my offer, but I am happy to point you in a direction, then. If it is the group of people who have been making their way in and out, there is a old library.
It's always a library.
A place of
knowledge brings fear.
A place of arcane study.
Interesting.
That has been taken over by a less than sociable group. Whenever they walk by me, I try to greet them and they just move in silence.
Yes. That tracks. Do you take PayPal?
Yes, I mean everyone has the magical credit slates. They work. You just tap them to each other, and you can exchange an agreed
Venmo
amount of credits.
Venmo.
If you are going down the more dangerous path, you must understand that I am not one for danger in my old age. But if you'd like, I can perhaps give you a bit of good luck, a small blessing before you go.
I'll take a small blessing.
She smiles at that. Then please sit down. Sit down for but a moment. And you see her basically...
I pass her 5 credits for the information and the blessing.
Thank you. She pulls out like a small thermos of like tea. And she like pours you a small cup. Like each of you a small cup. And then she sits down. And she closes her eyes and kind of like puts her hands down in front of her like this. May fortune smile upon these travelers while they seek whatever they may seek in these tunnels. May they be guided by the guiding hand of fate.
Got a follower of Adini up in here.
Blessing of Adenia.
I drink that shit.
Blessing of Adenia.
A little Adenia.
This going forward, you all have a singular roll that you can give yourself advantage on.
Just so we know now, do we have to call whether we use advantage before the roll?
Yes, you have to say, I want to get advantage on this roll. I will turn in my blessing of the fated one for it.
Oh my.
Okay.
Well, we have to remind us next week to remember that.
I will.
Well, then let us proceed. 5 credits poorer. But a blessing richer.
That's a good trade.
As you all head off, you begin making your way deeper into the tunnels. You come across what appears to be 2 groups of hooded Mau, each in a very similar sort of look, leading a number of Mau who are not in hoods down their path. Darius, you recognize a few of the people. Specifically, one of the Mau that is being led is your former rival.
Airy Oak.
Hold on, no, let me erase that. Type in dick face.
The one who, as we learned last week, constantly compared themselves to Darius and was always trying to one-up them. And was never successful. Darius was just so fervent in their prayer. How could he not be jealous?
Didn't have a firm grasp on the fundamentals.
Big prayer energy.
Enormous prayer energy.
Yeah, they appear to be walking in silence. The hooded figures appear to be following what appears to be some sort of orb, but it's just covered in those runes. And it's sort of just floating through the street.
I didn't
So-
care for that.
Can Darius see the orb, just not the runes, or can he not see the orb
Darius
at all?
cannot see the orb at all. Everyone else can see.
Oh, this is a very mundane sight, to be sure.
And are we coming across this from like a vantage point where we see them but they don't see us?
They are walking down the street ahead of you. If you continue moving, they will notice you.
I'd say hide, but we lose in battle there with my 0 to stealth. Can you
It's
ever
worth
learn
it,
pass
though.
without a trace, chap?
No.
Not yet, I don't think.
But ever?
Or I can at some point.
Okay.
I either just can't yet, or I just haven't.
I feel pretty confident I could roll a good stealth.
Yeah.
As
I should be able to.
As you're all kind of like trying to decide what you'd want to do, one of them just turns around and notices you all.
Oh.
And they just
I
stop
need to try to
there.
roll stealth.
And they just stop for a moment, and they just look at you, just like this.
Zoom kind of holds like his little hand out to try and signal to us, the rest of the group, to also just sit still and look at them.
Mm-hmm.
After about half a minute, they just kind of like beckon, like they take their like Mao hand. You see them sort of beckoning towards you, and they turn around. And they keep walking.
We can get in.
I nod and I follow.
Yeah, there's also a number of like, now you're looking, some of the hooded figures aren't Mao. There's a number of non-Mao here as well. And you are all brought into this very large library. A number of sort of magical accoutrements about the place. These robed figures taking points throughout the building, keeping an eye on the crowd below. There's about 30, 40 other people here right now. After a few moments, a sort of like central dais area is lit up using arcane lighting. And a creature moves on to it. The creature in question appears to be a serpentine in nature. And as that creature takes its place, another larger creature, Goliath covered in those runes, as if they've been tattooed into him, begins walking up onto the stage. Let the silence be broken, for now is the time to speak of destruction.
Okay.
And as they do so, the serpentine figure lowers their hood, and you see a Naga covered in these runes, with this sort of entropic claw coming off of their hands. So like normally Naga claw is pretty sharp, but these ones are like even sharper, but it's like black, and it's almost like a black hole that's being sustained at the end of their claws. The universe has been created for far too long, and its creation has run its course. Now only the slow decay remains before things can return to the way they were, and a new creation can be made from the nothingness. So I'm like,
Darius, it's fine. That's just like your opinion, man.
let it be known that those who strive to create, to prolong the universe's renewal, are your enemy. And there's some like yell at cheering. That one smith that Darius there, you just hear them say, "Yeah, fuck Darius."
It's all about you, man. This guy's got some problems.
This guy has some problems.
Got some
Did he at
deep-seated
least even
feelings.
try therapy?
No. He doesn't believe in therapy.
That tracks.
Yeah. And now we shall begin our nightly ritual of enacting what remains of the creators so that they may no longer create. And a number of Mao, like 2 Mao, are brought up in chains.
Okay.
I look at these 2 filigree fucks. Making artwork, making pretty architecture, prolonging the death of the universe with every creation.
Will.
Yes, Darius.
How big is this room we're in?
It is... I want to say 40 by 40-ish.
40 by 40?
Yeah.
Forge clerics get fireball.
No, but I do get spirit guardians.
Ooh.
Which is just going to be little, like, 2-bit animation hammers floating in a circle around me, like the Hammer Bros or something. I think at this point, yeah, Darius is like, okay, all right, enough with the heresy. Darius is probably going to, is going to try and close the distance, go 40 feet with his movement, and then push out Spirit Guardians.
Darius, make me either a stealth or deception check.
Neither.
Why?
To not basically be clocked by the guards watching over the crowd.
I don't think Darius cares.
No.
No, you don't care? Alright, so Darius, as you start moving forward...
I'm banking on the fact that me running up to be like, hey, what are you doing, man?
Looks like we got someone who hasn't accepted the inevitable death of the universe coming towards us.
There are so many things wrong with what you just said.
Well, guess what? The universe is ending and you're just prolonging it. Don't you think that's wrong?
Okay, yes.
Wouldn't the sweet embrace of the void be nice?
That is a solvable problem for you, sir.
It sounds like we have a creator in the midst, folks. Perhaps...
Yeah, at this point the Spirit Guardians are whacking him in the face.
Yeah, as you begin to summon the Spirit Guardians, they're finishing off this monologue. Perhaps it's time to truly show the power of destruction. And they're going to whistle. And this creature is just going to... The skeletal snake is just going to lift their claws up. And it's almost going to tear little rips in the universe. And stepping out from it...
It's these things.
Is a creature. They appear to be gaunt. Their skin is gaunt and tight to their face. They have what appear to be very, very unkept fox-like ears on their head. It's like they've been torn asunder. And they have this skeletal bow in their hands that is shimmering with cold energy.
And
then stepping out from the other one is a creature completely in a veil. They have this huge hat on that just has this veil of darkness covering them. And as this Goliath just continues to talk, allow the heralds of destruction to show you the way. That is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Do he know the way?
Go the way to destruction.
So join us next week as
Help
our
us
party.
Find a way.
We shall purge the heresy.
As our party faces off with these heralds of destruction. A skeletal snake-like creature and their 2 allies. Thank you all so much for coming to tonight's episode of The Astral Calling. Don't forget to check out our many other shows here on the channel, like Salt and Strategy tomorrow, like the Astral, like the Strength of Thousands on Monday, Wild Ambition on Saturday, and on August the 19th, keep an eye out as Zoe, in collaboration with Nat20, is going to be participating in a charity stream for Rainbow Railroad. So keep an eye out for that as we post links to that in the future. Have yourself a good one, and we'll see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye. Let it be known that I blame Zolom and Falk for this. Bye.